So we are going to be looking at a scenario where civilization starts over. We are on episode 32, and in the last episode we saw, the Russian Civil War. This turned Russia into a democratic nation. The old government lost the war, and now they are a democratic nation, and their color has changed slightly. Poland also took advantage of this, taking more land from Russia, and being a gangster and beating back the brown team. With economic rise going up after the First World War, let's see what happens in this episode. If you guys enjoy my content, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for 550 subscribers. We're growing very quickly. Anyways, let's jump into it. Let's start off in the Middle East, where I hinted at this country a little bit ago not existing for a long time. And it's about to not exist. We see the Sinai country starting an invasion of this purple country because, Sinai is pretty actually stronger for a newer country. This purple country is pretty much just desert, as Sinai is going to try and surround the capital. But the thing is, these guys aren't totally weak, so they're going to see a pushback against the Sinais. So instead of working on the Sinais, they're going to aim for this major city to try and cut off supplies flooding to that city. So the Sinais work, they start going up the border of, this Cyan country right here. They start working their way over to it, and they cut off supply lines between the two cities. They then work to take the major city, and they do. We now see Babylonia get in on this war. Babylonia is stronger than Sinai, I'd probably say. Well, at least they have a bigger population than Sinai. And the people of Babylonia want to have a pretty big country. They don't want to have it to like the size of Iraq, where it just collapsed very quickly. But they do want a pretty big country because, there is actually a lot of people who live in Babylonia. So these guys in Babylonia are going to start taking out little towns, the ones that they're reaching out to grab, while Sinai is going to work, and they surround the capital of this purple country. They then start closing in on the capital, and this purple country surrenders, but no one really cares. Babylonia is just going to keep working to keep surrounding more land, so they can get more land out of the peace treaty, but they're going to just start focusing on taking more land instead of focusing on the major cities. This country right here, I forgot the name, of course I did, is just going to start going around the country more. Iraq is thinking about joining in on this war, but their people are very not happy with them expanding, especially because their economy is not doing good right now. So this is going to leave Sinai and Babylonia to just take the rest of this land. The Sinai country is then going to take over the capital of this purple country. And then Babylonia takes these pieces of land, and while Sinai takes this. This is what it looks like after the war and the land both of them got. Sinai got less land, but actually I don't know if they got even pieces of land, but I'd say Sinai's is more valuable. But land is land in this world. Let's look at a peace treaty. In this peace treaty, we see Sinai taking, they made sure they got the major city. But with that, they lost more land to Babylonia. And we're not going to leave the Middle East yet, even though this war just happened. Instead, we're going to go up to this blue country, which is collapsing because economy. With this, of course, we have to see the Fascist Greeks start an invasion of this country. With 4 fronts, the Fascist Greeks are pretty much going to be the only one entering this war, but not the only one. As Cyprus goes ahead and makes a landing, they have been very isolated recently, but they are going to actually take the capital of this country. But really, it's just the Fascist Greeks who are going to get the most land, splitting this country in half over here and taking it over, while Cyprus is just going to keep moving around the coast, so that way they can get as much land as possible. And they just start going around the coast, like I said. And they're going to take about this much land before they stop because, although they have quite a bit of money because they've been isolated, although they haven't just been isolated, they've been mainly trading with Arate and Sinai. They're going to sign a deal with the Greeks where the Greeks get the rest of this land. Here is what the peace treaty looks like. We have Cyprus getting not as much land as they controlled because, well, they can't take that much. We see Greece making a new puppet state over here, and they also gained some land for themselves while also giving land to their puppet state. But now let's go over to Europe, where if we turn on the alliance layer, if you remember what happened in the last episode, Poland absolutely destroyed the Dutch. And, well, the Star Alliance isn't exactly happy with that. But someone who's the most mad about this is the Italian team. The Italians feel like Poland is pushing their luck too much. They feel like that Poland just came into the game. So why are you pushing around the dogs? You're like a cat in a backyard, and you just beat up a little chihuahua. And when the Italian team says this, the Dutch kind of looks at them. What are you saying? I'm saying that Poland should not have attacked you. The Dutch is going to kind of take offense to this because, well, they called him like a little dog, like a chihuahua. But the Italian team says they're going to respond to Poland attacking the Dutch. And the whole alliance is now looking at the Italian team like, what are you doing? And Italy's like, I'm going to respond. They're looking at the Dutch team, they're looking at Poland, and then they're looking at Italy. Do you not see what Poland just did to the Dutch? And then it happens. Italian troops start entering into Slovenia, taking the capital in days. They then start working around the country, taking as much land as they can, before bolting across the country as fast as they could. And then the rest of these provinces surrender. Italy just invaded Slovenia. One of the most neutral countries in the world, Italy kind of just destroyed. And now Italy shares a border with Poland. Poland looks down. They look at the Italian team. They look to the Dutch team. The Dutch team looks away and starts walking away. They look to Yugoslavia. Yugoslavia runs inside of a house. They look over to Iberia. Iberia gets some binoculars and starts watching. They go up and start looking at Wales. They have popcorn in their hand. Polish troops start blazing into the Italian team. Pretty quickly, there's a lot more setback than there was in the Dutch team because the Dutch was actually not doing good on economy. Italy is the 10th in economy, so they can pay their citizens, and their soldiers, but it's still pretty bad. You might be saying, why? Well, Poland isn't even on the top 10, so how are they supporting their soldiers? Their soldiers don't get paid. And the soldiers are fine with that. The soldiers are doing it for their country, and they don't really care about money. Very soon, Polish troops start taking over a lot of Slovenia and reaching the Adriatic Sea coast fairly quickly. Italy is going to try to set up some defensive fronts, but it's going to get to about here before, the majority of it stops. And you might be wondering, why isn't the Star Alliance helping Italy? Well, really, the Star Alliance isn't a attack one, attack all. They're supporting each other, but you don't have to, go to war in every single scenario. It's not like NATO. It's more like, we will support you in war, but we don't have to get involved. The Italian leader is going to work out a offensive that is going to reach back to the Polish border and begin an invasion of the Polish country. And this is going to go pretty far, and it's even going to block off the soldiers back over here. And with no supply lines, the soldiers start running into the Farmers Union and Yugoslavia, while some of them fight to the death. But the same thing happens here as many soldiers run into the Dutch and back into their home country. We then see an uprising take place in Slovenia, and the country soon appears back, and everyone just agrees to peace. And a peace treaty is worked out, and the whole world is very confused. Slovenia gained some land from Italy because of what Italy did, but the whole world is like, what just happened? Italy invaded Slovenia, probably the most peaceful country in the world, started a war with Poland, got smacked around, made it back to the Polish border, and then started invading into Poland, only for Slovenia to uprise again and retake their country. Mainly, Star Alliance is actually going to they're going to make Italy pay money to Poland. But Poland doesn't want money, no, they want revenge. So, for the first time ever in history, I think, I don't know about that, they send some assassins down with some weapons and sneak their way into the capital, where the leader is celebrating about winning the war somehow. And when he puts 2 arms up and the bodyguards aren't protecting him, they take 2 shots, one to the heart and one to the left lung. It punctures the lung, the heart is intact, but bleeding is happening into the lung and the leader dies. The son of the leader was standing right next to his dad as, well, he fell off the roof that they were standing on to celebrate. And his son takes power in a couple years. This is a couple years later. His son takes power. And he wants revenge from his dad's death. It won't be covered in this video, but Italy wants revenge. Anyways, let's go to the daily Sri Lanka update. A northern pink country is going to declare their independence from the cyan one, disrupting peace between the cyan one and the golden one. These two had a peace deal, and they were actually happily living together. But then the pink one had to ruin it. And there's the new Sri Lanka update. I did say in the last episode there were going to be some starts of cracking from 2 giant Asian countries. That starts now as Tibet and Vietnam are starting to see cracks in their system. Tibet and Vietnam already hate each other. But now everyone's looking at this because troops are being added. A lot of troops are being added to the borders. This could actually turn very deadly. And very soon you might see a big war break out between the 2 superpowers of Asia. In military rankings, Tibet is 4th and Vietnam is 5th. Vietnam is very sour about Tibet being higher than them. So just be aware, a war could very well break out soon. Over in America, we see Indonesia start exploring more land along the center core of the United States current day, as well as going up more into Alaska and Canada, into these colder regions where they are not used to be at all. So they turn around and head back to California. The red team in Africa, well, just the red team in all, is going to start massively exploring areas of South America, going into the Amazon rainforest, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, one of them gets eaten by an anaconda, so they kind of leave. They watch as an anaconda falls from a tree, strangles their friend, and then eats them whole. So they turn around and never go back down there as they discover these islands up here. While Wales is going to make a fateful mistake, they start going down, and I'm pretty sure they enter into the Amazon rainforest. And then a giant jaguar pops out and strangles and, well, kills all of them, but one, as they run away and tell them, we're not going down into South America anymore. They don't listen to him, so they just start going down into Ecuador, which I don't think the Amazon rainforest is over here. And for the first time in a long time, we see the whales actually colonizing land inside of the Americas, touching up with the red team, and they're like, we thought you were dead. But nope, they're very well alive, just in a different continent. And, well, a trade route is being built between these two. But for the final event of this video, we see the Central Asian Union adding 2 more members to this union. Economy has been pretty rough, so these 2 go ahead and join up. And the Central Asian Union is kind of sought out on not letting, well, the big 4 in Asia expand into any other smaller countries because they want to, help out Asia. The big 4 realize that this union is trying to cobalt them from expanding, and they try to get everyone together to form a coalition against the union, but it falls through as these 2 hate each other, and the people around them kind of want to join this union. But that is going to do it for episode 32. I hope you all enjoyed it. I certainly did. Be on the lookout for the live stream coming this Saturday, a 500 subscribers special. And I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye. And today's daily shoutout is going to be going to Bosnia-Herzegovina _real. They make some great mapping, short-formed content. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Go check out his channel, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.